All right, so you had a great call. Boy, you scheduled the appointment and they came there on the property. They showed up on time. In fact, they were early and you are showing them this amazing apartment. They're excited, you're excited, everything is going great. And then they ask you a question that you don't know the answer to. Hey everybody, I'm Matt Easton, the founder of Leasing University. Leasing University is the #1 training in the world for leasing agents, for property managers. It is going to help you lease more apartments. I encourage you, please check us out over at leasinguniversity.com, or you can call my office anytime you want, 888-735-7451. Let's talk a little bit about what happens to us as leasing agents and leasing consultants when we get asked a question that we don't know the answer to. When I'm out there touring communities, when I'm out there working with properties, and I'm in a live setting and I'm shadowing leasing agents, as an independent third party, I can tell you, I see it. I see the look on your face and I get it. I'm with you. I agree 100%. It's stressful. You get asked a question you don't know the answer to and you kind of freeze up. Let me give you my 9 rules, okay? These are kind of 9 things to live by when you get asked a question that you don't know the answer to. Number 1, I want you to compliment that person. Be enthusiastic, be excited. A lot of times as leasing agents, when we get asked a question that we don't know the answer to, we don't even know we're doing this, but our posture kind of freezes up and we kind of, I'm not sure about that. Or we just kind of deflect the whole thing. Like we pretend, if I pretend I didn't hear that, maybe it won't come up again. Always be enthusiastic and compliment them. Great question, Rebecca. Hey, how many school districts do you have in the area? Fantastic question. Okay. First thing you want to say, great question. Always compliment them. Never, this is the most important, rule number 2, never say I don't know. Okay, even if you don't know the answer. And I'm not asking you to lie, I'm just simply saying eliminate the words I don't know from your mouth. Why? It totally destroys any certainty, any confidence, and any trust that they've placed in you as their leasing consultant. Can you imagine if you went to board an aircraft, right? And you asked the pilot of that airplane, hey, I'm just curious, how much fuel does this aircraft hold? And the pilot goes, I don't know. I'll fill it up down there at Conoco and I tap the gauge before we take off. It says full. I think it's a lot. I don't pay the bill. The airline pays the bill. I don't know. I usually grab a beer while it's being filled up. No, you would have complete lack of confidence in that airline pilot, okay? So never, ever say, I don't know. Great question. Let me get the answer for you. Great question. I'll figure it out. Great question. Rick, in charge of our maintenance department, he's going to make sure that I want to make sure that my answer is spot on before I give it to you. Let me double check with Rick. Never say I don't know. Number 3, don't fake an answer. And a lot of you do this with the best intentions because you want to be smart, especially if you're brand new in the industry. So you just fake an answer. Hey, how many middle schools are there in the area? I'm pretty sure there's three middle schools. Yeah, I think George Washington, right? Because that's the middle school I went to in Dayton, Ohio, which is 1,800 miles away from here. Don't fake an answer. Don't make something up. You are a leasing professional. You have been trained to be a professional. When you receive a question that you don't know the answer to, you're going to figure it out. That's what professionals do. You wouldn't want your doctor faking an answer to you, so don't fake an answer to your renters. Number 4, listen to every piece of the question. There's going to be a lot of clues in there. When they're asking about a middle school, what does that mean? It probably means that they've got kids. It probably means that this is something that is vital to them making a decision. So make sure you listen to the question. A lot of times we're so involved with what we're going to say next or what we're going to show them next that we don't really listen to the question. Number 5, I want you to write down all of your answers. 2 reasons. Number 1, when you write down the answers and you show hey, I wrote it down. There's actually 4 middle schools in the area: McCarthy, John Williams, George Washington, and MLK. And you've written down the answers. That is going to make you ultra credible with your renter and ultra professional. It's also gonna burn it into your brain because you wrote it down, and you're probably gonna remember the answer to that question the next time you're asked. Number 6, in any question that you're asked, whether you know the answer or not, look for the opportunity. Hey, are there any bike paths in the area? I can't tell you how many times somebody will be like, I'm not sure, I don't bike. I don't know, I don't bike. Great question. Let me find out. Why do you ask? Look for the, well, because I'm riding the bus to work right now and I hate it and I really want to ride my bike to work. Where do you work? What kind of bike do you have? What kind of path? Are you looking for something on the road? Or are you looking for a designated trail? Look for the opportunity to sell them in that answer. The fact that you're being professional and the fact that you're digging into their question is gonna build so much value with your renter. Number 7, and 99% of you never do this. Always ask them, great question, let me find out, when do you need the answer by? Find out when they need that answer by. It's gonna give you an indicator as to how important this is to them making a decision. Great question about the middle schools. Let me find out, when do you need the answer by? Well, I definitely need to know before I sign the lease. I don't know. I was just curious. Whenever. That's a pretty good barometer of how important middle school is going to be in their decision. Need to know before I sign the lease? I don't know. I'm just curious. I just want to make sure my little brats are in school. Not as important. Okay, great. You found out when they need to know, which is also going to tell you how vital their answer is in determining whether or not they sign the lease. Number 8, determine how important the answer is to them signing the lease. Great question about the middle school. Listen, how important are middle schools to you actually selecting your apartment? How much is that going to play into your decision about where you're going to live? Now, in the previous question, we kind of got a gauge. Now we're just straight up asking them, how important is this to you signing the lease? So you're doing a double check there. Well, I just want to know if there's middle schools. Great. How important is the middle school to you signing the lease? It's not important at all. Or you know what? I did want to find out, but it's imperative to me deciding what apartment I want. Number 9, and most important, and I saved the best for last here. When you are asked a question and you don't know the answer to it, I want you to go through all these steps, but I want you to also remember this. Complete your tour. Complete your meeting. And I know this sounds crazy and a lot of you are like, duh. Think back. Be honest with yourself. A lot of times when we get asked a question that we don't know the answer to, it totally derails our entire presentation. And the next thing you know, you're off with your prospect in tow, trying to find Rick in maintenance to ask Rick about the water pressure in the building, or to ask Rick if it's possible to put shelves in the front closet, or to ask Patty, because you know Patty's got kids, what middle schools are in the area. And you allow this one single question to dominate your time and to dominate your entire presentation. Please follow these steps. Great question. Let me get you the answer. How important is that answer? When do you need that answer? Write it all down with your sword and your shield, your legal pad and your pen. I'll find that out. Does 4:30 work for you? Great. And then move on. Complete the rest of your presentation. You all, every single one of you, I don't care how good you are, you have lost leases that you would have gotten because you mishandled questions that you didn't know the answer to, and it gummed everything up and it derailed and it killed your flow. I don't want to see that happening to you. Please, if you're at work at all in the industry, subscribe to this channel. It's all about you. And whatever questions you have, my legion of leasers, my army of apartment maniacs, please leave your questions below. I will read every single one of them and I will try to get every single one of you answers. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University. Until the next video, I want you to be great and I want you to get those leases. 500 of the top property management companies work with Leasing University. We conduct 100 live apartment leasing training events per year. We help our clients sign over 100,000 additional leases per year, adding $2 billion to their revenue. Leasing consultants that have access to Leasing University lease 7 times more apartments than the rest of the industry. Leasing University is new. Leasing University is game-changing, and Leasing University will get you 7 times more leases. Listen, the apartment industry has changed. The way people rent apartments today is totally different than it was yesterday. Today's renter has more access to information, and they've got more choices in apartments than they've ever had before. If you're struggling to get leases, it's most likely not your location, it's not your amenities, and it's not your price. It's your sales training. If you've been made to sit through a boring class or unrealistic online training, and you're not getting the skills that you need to work with renters, to help you handle their objections, and to make sure you close the lease and rent the apartment, well, that ends today with Leasing University. Our simple, fun, and exciting step-by-step online training and live events will give you the skills and confidence that you need to lease 7 times more apartments. Earn your certified leasing consultant credential in less than 30 days with Leasing University. Simply click on the link to get started and head over to leasinguniversity.com now to start your training.